Hi, and welcome to episode 45 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Dilson. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty good myself. This week, what I'm going to be kind of talking about, and I've tried to get another phone interview, but haven't come across that yet, but it'll come. I've been working on a few things, and some of those might come your way. Which I do like doing those phone interviews too. But anyway, this week, what I'm going to be doing is talking a little bit about just the recent Davis Cup and Italy, actually, then, winning the Davis Cup, and it was ended a 47-year-old drought of winning the Davis Cup this year. With that. So, but the odds-on favorite, you would have thought that would have been Serbia, led by Novak Djokovic. But in this, surprisingly enough, Jannik Sinner ended up beating Alex de Minaur out of Australia. Australia was in the Davis Cup final. And he beat him 6-3, 6-0. But Sinner, he really has been on a very good run as of late. And in the semis, he actually then turned the tables and beat Novak Djokovic. And then Djokovic ended up losing in the doubles. And so they did not make it and were unable to make the Davis Cup finals. So it was Italy, and they beat Australia, and led by Jannik Sinner. So Italy, they played really, really good with that too, amazingly so. But Jannik Sinner, he's 22 only, but he is really coming on his own as far as a tennis player. Lately, he actually added a coach, Australian player, ex-Australian tennis player Darren Cahill. And Darren Cahill has brought some good stuff to the table with kind of strategy, on-court stuff with that too. And but Sinner, he actually has like several coaches because he has two, Darren Cahill and then Simone Vagnazzi, and then a physio, Giacomo Naldi, and then fitness coach Umbro Ferreira. So kind of as kind of an entourage there. As far as having and being the coach, being coached, and Sinner himself, he said that he's very open-minded as far as learning from different coaches on different things throughout the year and learning and stuff like that too. They still have a few other tournaments that they're going to be doing and coming up with, all leading up into December, coming latter part of December. They'll be playing a few tournaments too. Then stepping into the last part of November, first part of January, or last part of December into January. That's whenever they'll have then the Australian Open. And that is then again starting the whole new year again, and then taking it from there and seeing what is going on that way. But yeah, just for you YouTubers, just wanted to say that if you do like what I'm talking about, just go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. Then subscribe, like, comment. Always like to hear comments and see comments from people. So please do that. I like doing it for you. And then also for you podcasters out there, I will be doing a racket of the day pretty soon. So you're going to be hearing about it. And But if you want to see what I'm talking about, then you'll be able to see the racket of the day that I have coming up today too. But with that too, just kind of a more or less that aspect as far as Sinner playing so good this year. I think he's in the upper five tennis players in the world right now. So he's coming on his own, and he's really a good, really good, consistent player now. He's added a little muscle to him, and he can now really blast that ball, and very good serve all the way around. Ground strokes, very good, and very tough component to try to get out and play against with a lot of the players out there too. So he's actually beat some of the Russian players out there, and even some of the American players like Taylor Fritz and players of that nature. And Taylor Fritz in his own right is a very good player too. But with that, it's just the fact that Sinner has been hit his own whenever Davis Cup came. A few weeks ago, he had been beaten by Novak Djokovic, but then he comes back and then he does it and beats Novak in Davis Cup. Just thus thwarting the fact that Serbia could have been in the Davis Cup final, but it was Italy, and ending a 47-year drought, which is amazing in itself too, to be able to do that. But with that, Italy just played very well all the way around. So with that, now it's just the fact that going on to other different tournaments and being able to do that will help him, and probably help him more in going into the Australian Open. But of course, going into the Australian Open, who do you think will probably be the odds-on favorite? Possibly then would be Novak Djokovic. But also with Rafa Nadal coming back, hopefully he might be coming back in prior to the Australian Open and do his farewell tour on that respect. But there's a lot of good players right in the upper 10 players in the world that are vying, and that's going to be a tough, good, beautiful tournament in Australia. Summertime there, wintertime most other places in the U.S. and other places in Europe. Australia is always, I always kind of like, whenever I watch the Australian Open myself, I kind of, if it's cold where I'm at and outside and everything, I look at the TV and watch the Australian Open, and then I can at least feel warm by looking at the 100+ degrees on the court, which is amazing in itself, and how those guys can even play in that heat is amazing in itself also. But with that too, just to have you YouTubers watching my tennis volley talk on YouTube. I do like doing that for you, and please go there, subscribe, like, follow, make comments. I always want to have a comment from anybody. So what you're kind of a going thing. What I'd like to know is, what do you think as far as will Rafa Nadal have a good chance to even have a winning percentage against Novak Djokovic this year if he plays more of a schedule from coming back from injury? So let me know that. I'd like to know, and something to hear about. But go to my channel and YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and subscribe, like, make a comment. And you podcasters out there, do the same. If you want to take a look at what the racket of the day might look like, Make a comment, subscribe, like. Also, with that, for you podcasters out there too. So with that, also, I just kind of wanted to now go with the racket of the day here too. And the racket of the day also is an EI Horseman tennis racket again this week too. And this is a little older racket. It's you can tell because it's not a concave throat. It's a convex throat that has the little wedge right there, and that's called the convex. And also still has the brass screw right there on it. With that, it has the older Horseman decal on that too. So this racket itself still has the wood handle. The butt of the racket doesn't have anything on the butt of the racket at this time. Probably have the little sticker on it here at the bottom of the racket. This racket here is kind of more of a like a flat top, a little flatter top racket. So that this racket is probably puts this racket right around about the 1900s. So, you YouTubers, you're taking a look at it already. You podcasters, if you do want to take a look at the racket, please, you can go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and take a look at what I'm talking about with this racket. It's, like I said, a little flatter head. It has the convex. It's a wedge, and it kind of goes up from the throat, and not like a regular looking racket that has a rounded throat at the bottom, called the convex. It has the wooden handle, no grip on it, but very well made. The color of the wood and the strings, of course. Again, probably cowgut or catgut. Yet again. But all the strings, that's not even a broken string in this racket. So it's all intact still, which is still pretty good for old racket like that too. So yeah, if you want to take a look at it for you podcasters, certainly go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. Make a comment, everybody, YouTuber, podcasters, make a comment, like, subscribe, and take a look. And very good racket to see. And I like showing the rackets because you get to learn a little bit more about the rackets themselves. Of course, then last week I did tell you about an EI Horseman racket also from that last week. So you kind of know about the manufacturer and EI Horseman. That when he was born, and then they also made it, actually opened a toy store, and then made bisque dolls back in the 1800s, and all the way up through today they make those dolls. And then kind of the manufacturing part of it in making a easy to use camera for kids back in the day too. But also they made tennis rackets, and this racket, one of the older ones by EI Horseman. And so a lot of people, I don't think they even really knew that they did make tennis rackets. So I'm just glad that I'm able to have one of those and show it to you. And with that, please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, make a comment on that. And you podcasters also, if you want to take a look at what I'm talking about, go to that my YouTube channel there and take a look at the racket of the day if you do want to take a look at it. But that racket, very nice racket to have in the collection that I have. So with that, congratulations again to Jannik Sinner for winning in the Davis Cup and bringing his team through and beating Australia. Australia's been in quite a few Davis Cups themselves. So back in the day when you had John Newcomb and Rod Laver and Ken Rosewall, Lou Hode, not Lou Hode, but a few of the other players, Roy Emerson, stuff like that. Just back in the day, that Australia just had awesome teams back in the day in the early 70s and stuff. So keep watching, and everybody just have a very nice day, a week out there. And I just am glad that I'm able to bring this to you and show you the rackets that I have and let you know a little bit of history of them. Please subscribe, like, and I will get back to you next week for another episode. So everybody have a good week this week. I'm sure some people are still playing outside, but for those of you that need to go back inside, then go inside and play and do what you can and keep up the tennis. And I appreciate it very much. And everybody have a good week playing this week. So thank you and have a good week.